What the hell's our TikTok?
Da, 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 ba, da, da. It's recording.
It's recording. Oh my God. It's actually
Okay.
working. And only 52 minutes late.
Made me feel sick.
So we're recording, yeah?
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, we're live. Oh, she's moving the scenery, everyone. It's over. That's it. The illusion is ruined.
We're recording. And we're all good to go.
We're doing it live. Welcome to
Evan's
But This Is the Thing, a podcast filmed by two psychopaths who apparently can't get technology to work, even though we're of the age where we're supposed to be able to do that. So
tech native.
you're in for a fun ride, is what I've said to far too many men over my lifetime. But anyway, how are we? By the way, if you do want to follow us on socials, obviously you can get her at Secret. You can get me at David Moo. But we also have a TikTok for the podcast, which is at But This Is the Thing Pod on TikTok. And you can follow us and occasionally be updated with episodes when they semi-frequently happen.
We've got one TikTok up there already, lads.
One whole TikTok just for you.
Invest early.
Tell the viewers what you ate for tea.
I haven't had tea yet. Tea is going to come later, but I've had I got too angry in response to a TikTok, which we'll talk about later. And forgot I just didn't have the brain capacity to put anything else on my food. I was going to have a sandwich, but then I just put butter on the bread, and then I ate that.
Hold on.
The end
You
of
said
the
you had
sentence.
toast, and now you're saying you didn't even toast the bread.
No, I did
was
toast
just
it. Partly.
partly.
Mhm.
Oh my
It
God,
was
everyone.
it was toasted on one side. I had it toasted on one side, but I didn't toast the other side of it. Because it's never the right
Wow.
amount of time for having a meal, like when I'm going downstairs for a cigarette. And if I have food in that will take the same amount of time as a cigarette to cook, and I don't have to be there for it, then it's fine. So like a pasty heating up, for example, or sometimes two. But what I struggle once I'm like in the house after the cigarette, then I'm like, there's no time. I don't have time for all of this foolish nonsense.
It impresses me your like almost devolved interest in food, considering you literally are married to a chef.
Yeah, but that's the thing. He can't do it for free.
That's the thing. Is
Giving
that
it
the
away
thing?
for
I don't
free.
think
I
that's the
wouldn't do it
thing.
for free. That's all we're talking about this week. Talking about my husband and being a chef. But yeah, no. So aside from that, I'm okay. I was thinking about ordering a pizza, but I'm so stressed now about the technology not working that I don't want to do anything that will run any kind of risk. So I'm just going to eat a
Wise.
bit.
Yeah, wise, definitely
How are
wise.
you?
I'm seriously depressed. It's great. I love it.
Yeah.
The black dog was definitely barking at me over the weekend. It turns out that was just my annoying neighbor who I was yelling at as I was setting up because he has a dog that barks all the time.
Okay.
But in the like referential sense, also really depressed. It's delightful.
I ruined the mood.
I think I might ruin the
You
mood by being
selfish
like,
bastard.
how dare you talk about being depressed? You're here to make people laugh, you little.
That's all. Dance. Oh no, but it is. It's shit. Yeah, it's. I feel like I was saying to another pal the other day that it's like everybody's sort of at different levels of crisis. Was I saying it to you?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you for the audience. I was saying,
We
I
haven't
was
rehearsed
saying
this
that
conversation.
I was saying that I feel like I can't actually, because everybody is sort of at like a constant stage of like almost crisis. It's really, I can't tell within myself, and I also can't always tell with like pals whether they're like, whether it's like crisis point. But yeah, it does feel, it seems like things have been getting to you a little bit this week.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I have like this permanent suit of armor on because I'm I'm an argumentative piece of shit that goes on the internet. And then there's just sometimes where I did a video this week. I don't know if you saw where I said like it's not that I get like I'm offended by like the stupid shit that people say because I just roll my eyes at the stupid shit that people say, but there comes a point where it's like this like deep set feeling in my chest of just like get alive about these things that you're worried about. Like, are you
Mm,
kidding me? Arguing with people about like gay marriage and like, oh, the nasty boat people, or like, like I will say you can go too far, and I'll explain that in a second. But like sometimes you go on the internet and you see someone just existing and being like, I wonder who will win this season of Love Island, and you're like, I hate you because they're
mm,
so unworried about things. That said, I did go on Blue Sky the day before yesterday, I think it was, and I saw Suze Kempner, whose comedy I quite like. She was like, "Oh, this technology thing did this thing," and this person quote tweeted her and was like, "Your government is committing a genocide," and everybody was
mm.
like, are you well? Like Suze Kempner has raised money for it. She's like raised awareness.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Mm. Yeah. It's hard, isn't it? Because I feel like half the time I'm one of those people.
I don't think you would leap into like a person just being like, look at this fun thing and be like, murder. Like that was just a bit like, I
No, I wouldn't.
understand, but
No, I'll do it like in real life, just
well,
sometimes.
yeah.
Like when you're
I,
talking about something normal, and then you just go into silence for a second, and you're like,
yeah. So just for the audience, we're filming on the night that it's been announced that Hulk Hogan's died. And my sister put an article in the group chat about it. And in this article, he's wearing a MAGA t-shirt. And I responded, oh well, I don't care. He's wearing a MAGA t-shirt. And all my family were like, so anyway, what's everyone doing? And I was like, oh, I've made it awkward again. Whoops.
oh no. Well, who's blonde?
Yes.
Blonde wrestler.
Yes.
Wrestler?
With the weird. Yes.
I'm thinking of Dog the Bounty Hunter.
It's not him. I can see
He's
I can
probably
see the
also. Is he
confusion.
also MAGA though?
I'm going to assume that yes, Dog the Bounty Hunter is in fact MAGA.
Oh no, I didn't know about Hulk.
Yeah. Surprise!
Oh, not another one. That's a shame.
It has been it's been like a week of just like every time you check the news, it's like guess who's dead. It's like that Peter Kay sketch.
Yeah, I haven't checked the news very much, but I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Do we know if Trump's still missing?
What?
Trump was like not responding to stuff for a while.
Oh, I
I
don't
haven't
know.
checked anything. Ah, he's probably alive. Fuck. So Hulk Hogan probably took his place.
Probably got a 15-year-old's finger up his butt somewhere, no doubt.
Oh no.
Well, I'm just saying.
Well, that's terrible. Well, I hope that you feel better soon.
What? You hope who feels better soon?
You. I hope you feel better
Me.
about the depression.
Thanks. I hope I feel better soon too.
I hope you feel. I don't know what to say because we've talked about it so much and it just is shit.
Yeah. It's like when it comes to stuff like this, I will just say before we move on, like when you actually have actual depression, sometimes this just happens anyway. Early on in my relationship, I was like, oh my God, my job's good, my partner's good, my life is good. And I wish I wasn't here. And I was like, what the
Mm,
fuck is this all about? So I went to the doctor, and the doctor was literally like, you have clinical depression. This just happens sometimes. And I was like, okay, thanks. The dismissive attitude's not really helping either.
yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
he's a weird doctor. I've had a couple of
Yeah.
weird doctors. I saw a doctor a few months ago who was like, I think we put too much stock in Western medicine. I think that you should try some Reiki. And I was like, what was your
Where
name
were
again? So I can
you?
make sure that I never ever see you again.
Were you at the GP when that happened? Were you at a
Yeah.
spa? Okay.
No, it was literally my GP. I like I started she was like, have you tried anything to help you sleep? I was like, well, I've tried 50 milligrams of diphenhydramine, but it usually has this weird side effect of making me feel like muscle tension. And she was like, oh, you know the name for it? And I was like, yes, it's on the side of the packet. She's like, "Oh, you're a little bit more well read than other people." I was like, "No, I'm
Hopefully not
weird.
you. You sound.
Like, I'm just weird." Yeah, I was like, she was like, "Have you tried anything else before?" I was like, "Zopiclone." She's like, "Oh, that's very good." I was like, so anyway, yeah, she was a weird GP.
Mm, yeah, I don't trust GPs. I mean, yeah, I had the same thing with them. I kept getting told that I had depression when I wasn't depressed. I was just depressed because of having the ADHD.
Yeah, that's it. In retrospect, looking back on my big breakdown that I had in 2016, absolutely burnout. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's what makes it hard. It's hard to parse it 'cause it's like I don't know if I'm having a reasonable reaction to just the world, or if I'm having a reasonable reaction that's circumstantial, or if it's because of the neurodivergence and it just feels really bad, or I've forgotten to eat lunch and I've only had bread,
And
or it's
sometimes
because
it's all of them.
and sometimes it's all of them, and someone's told you on the internet that they think you should probably get raped.
Well, yeah, that also.
Which
Oh,
brings us to this
Jesus.
week's topic. Week,
Indeed.
month. This mid-frequent topic.
This at some point topic.
The topic of the time. We want to talk this week about hate, but also love, but also hate. Because what seems to be the feeling at the moment, we did want to talk about AI, but we might talk about AI next period.
Next infrequent.
Next frequent. But we have I don't know, I've seen a lot of people starting to kind of like lose it on social media. Obviously, the situation in Gaza has pushed people to a point of like extreme frustration. So I've seen a lot of people sharing like just completely venting. People don't know what to do. Also in day life, real life, I've seen like I've had quite a few friends and know quite a few people who are just going through it, like just people are just like, I just want a break. I just need a break or a second to breathe. At the same time, government hate, doing all the hate consistently. We're seeing these absolutely gross, fucking crazy racists outside of hotels throwing shit at the police. The police are arresting like two of them and then calling them protesters and then going off to arrest Palestine Action protesters or people who might be suspected of potentially being part of a conspiracy to support Palestine Action. And it just feels like there's a lot. There's a lot of hate going around, and it's also resulting in a lot of that kind of. I think whenever people push back on that sort of hatred, you get hate back in return. We're both feeling pretty hateful about it, but I think also we're talking about how a lot of that hate comes from a place of love, and how when there are things like this, it makes us feel like more connected to the people that we are around in our community.
Yeah,
So just a quick summary.
there is there is some joy in like seeing other people who feel the same way, but at the same time, it's pretty cheap joy because it's like, oh, we're all fucking miserable together, it's difficult. And then, like you said,
Well, that was going
I
to be my positive spin on all the hate, but now you've diminished
you
it.
can you can do it again. We'll talk shit for a
No,
while, and people will forget.
forget it.
Um, I have to say, I do. I told you on Monday. I barely slept at the weekend. Barely had any sleep the entire weekend, and I I like got up at 5 o'clock on Monday, and I went for a really long walk around Leeds because I just wanted to, like listen to some lo-fi music and go for a walk and just like forget.
Mm,
I went for a walk, got back here, sat down really early, had a meeting at 8 anyway. And as I was waiting for my meeting to start, I was scrolling on Blue Sky and it was just starving Gazan children, dead Gazan children, starving Gazan children. And I wrote on Blue Sky, like, it's so awful seeing these dead children. I think my exact words, if I remember them rightly, were I've I've seen 5 dead Palestinian children in an hour on my screen, and the government says that it's illegal to support people that think this is wrong.
mm-hmm.
And the insanity from Zionists, I got like, I don't believe you. I got, you're a piece of shit because you're not talking about every child in the world. You're only obsessed with Gazan children. They're not really, it's not really there. Why are you not talking about these children? You're a selfish piece of shit. And I was reading these responses coming in and I was like, how do you convince yourself that you are part of a normal ideology when you see someone being like, God, these dead children are bad, and you're like, what about the other dead children? You don't care about dead children. Like, I'm thinking
Yeah,
it might not be me that's got the problem, guys. Do you know what I mean?
yeah. It's blue sky's a liberal hellhole.
It really is.
And I've ended up because I ended up on one of those lists, like the politics people lists. So I've got loads of followers, and then I keep arguing with people in other people's posts, and then realizing that they're following me, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, there's one person like whose username I'm not going to say, but there's one person who follows me who I've deliberately stopped following because he's still sucking Labour's dick, and I'm like, listen, you can like my posts and be like, oh my god, I agree with the Green Party and leftism as well, but you're still defending Keir Starmer's Labour. Like, take the mask
Yeah,
off, dude.
I feel like I almost feel like I'm being cheated on when I see
Yeah,
like if someone not as in because this is going to lead into the whole like hate thing also. Like when you see people who are like, we can have all different views, but the views that they're like also supporting are views that are like really racist
yeah,
or like yeah, particularly happens a lot with like misogynoir and like anti-blackness. There will be so many people who will follow. I think we have it in a similar way. People follow us, be like, totally agree, so true, and then a couple of days later, we'll see them just being a total piece of shit to any of our mutuals that are like black women who are
yeah.
just immediately talking down to them, and it's like, oh no, and or they'll be following someone really fucking awful and like harmful, and they'll be like, why can't we all just take space with each other? And it's like, no,
I
because they're trying to burn down the space. They keep trying to ruin the space. I won't
I
let them
came
in.
across someone like I can't remember what her username is, but I just blocked her anyway. Like we'd been mutuals for a while, but she's become really weird and centrist because she was like, "Oh, the far left and the far right are exactly the same. Like I can't stand either of them." And I was like, "Yeah, yeah." So like on one side, you've got people sat on national platforms now going, oh, "Yeah, I am actually a fascist." Yeah, and people around them going, "Whoa!" And then on the other side, you've got people going, how about free healthcare and sorting out the housing crisis, guys? And that's exactly the same. You fucking dickhead.
Yeah, it
Like
the
these
ugh.
people, they're the type of people who they're like, oh, the far left and the far right are exactly the same. And do you know how I know? Because the far left are mean to me on Twitter. And it's like, okay, so someone calling you a dickhead because you're supporting liberal policies on Twitter is actually not the same as people burning crosses and talking about removing people's civil liberties. Shut the fuck up, you absolute wimp.
Which
There's
brings us
that
to our
hate we're talking
segment.
about.
Which brings us to our segment, our infrequent segment called "So Much for the Tolerant Left." Wait, wait. Let me figure this out. Do a theme quickly.
Do 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 do
It's So Much for the Tolerant Left, an infrequent segment on, but this is the thing, where we try and figure out what the difference is between the left and the right. Bearing in mind that we also don't necessarily agree what left means or associate ourselves specifically as leftist, but it's a different thing. We're doing
that's
it
a
through.
whole other
That's
podcast.
a whole other podcast. That's a whole other thing. But we'll just park that and come back to this. We're gonna do from the perspective of people who say the right and the left are exactly the same. And especially because if you are on the left and you're feeling angry at the moment, or you're feeling aggressive at the moment, or you don't want to put up with absolutely horrible stuff, then you are seemingly just as bad as the right. And I think it would be good for someone finally to just try and figure out what the difference is. And it's going to be you.
Perfect.
So, how is this going to work? Well, as you had a small preview of earlier, this is a exciting animation that will go through that will play, and I need you to tell me whether or not you, as someone on the left, whether you tolerate it or you don't tolerate it. And we're going to try and figure out afterwards whether or not that makes you tolerant. I haven't thought it through really what we'll do afterwards. We might just move on. So, first up, dogs, tolerate or no tolerate?
Oh, more than tolerate. You know me, I love them.
Love dogs. Okay, so that's one for tolerant. Next up, cats.
Absolutely tolerate cats. Here's the thing with cats. Like people say I can't get along with people that don't share my politics. I like cats. You telling me that's not a fucking Tory voter?
True. And I'm more of a dog person, but look at us
Exactly. See?
reaching across
Coexistence. Exactly. Tolerance. Tolerance.
the divide together. I was going to try and reach into your camera. Wait.
Ah!
Okay, next up, round 3. Hang on. Police brutality.
I mean, like it's definitely a not tolerate. Surprisingly,
Fucking hell.
honestly, I know,
Okay, well that's one mark for not tolerant.
right?
Haven't
So
got
much
my
for the not
notebook.
tolerant left.
My notepad's on the floor.
Of course it is.
I
Where,
was gonna
where
make a
else do you
note.
keep your
I
notepads,
was gonna make
guys?
a note. Just stick that
In
in.
amongst all the drawings.
I'm just gonna write 1.
Not
Okay.
tolerant.
Not 1. Okay. Next up, people born in other countries. This is a tough one.
It depends on which country, because like I'll accept a lot of people, but if you're talking about the president of the United States, who's an adjudicated rapist who's coming here soon, I'm gonna have to say no.
Wait, so you don't tolerate people in other countries?
Ah, you see, there's this
People
thing
born
called
in other countries?
nuance. Are we not
No,
bringing it?
sorry, you're
No
exactly the
nuance.
same. No, you're exactly the same.
Oh,
Not
there you go.
tolerant. That's
See,
2 for 2. You're the same as the right.
well,
You
there you go.
bastard. Okay. Another one. Uh, blaming people who don't look like you for everything.
I
Tolerant?
mean,
Do you tolerate
I
that?
I think I do tolerate that because I personally think that you're responsible for everything that's wrong in my life, and you
But
don't
we
look
look
like me.
really similar.
Uh, well, I guess I will then. Yeah, I'll say
Okay.
no. I don't tolerate that.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
No, no, no.
Seeming pretty intolerant now.
Well, there you go. You see,
Okay. Next up, ice cream.
it's a good job I'm not lactose intolerant. No, I'll tolerate that one.
You'll tolerate? Well, well,
Just
well.
about. Just about.
Tolerating ice cream, but not people born in other countries, huh? Telling.
But, I think that's a little
Next
bit.
up,
Fucking-
people having different sexualities to you.
I actually don't tolerate that.
Fucking knew it.
Listen, I'm
Not.
completely supportive of straight people to live their lives. I just wish they didn't fucking shove it in my face all the time.
Right. Well, that's the, that's the end.
That's it. Ice cream, dogs, and people that are gay. Great, fantastic.
Well, and actually, hang on. Let me just tolerant 3, not tolerant 4, and then let's just. I forgot to stop sharing. Well, there's the results. It turns out you actually are exactly the same as the right. So.
Honestly, I could have predicted it. It turns out they were right all along. The good news is, apparently, what we're trying to do now is be left wing but not woke. So you guys still have to work with me anyway.
Got him.
You'll never get rid of me.
Yeah. So, well, I guess so much for the tolerant left. Turns out you are as hateful as everybody else.
But I think this is the thing, though. Like, it's so funny when people say this to me because, like, yeah, like literally yesterday, I told someone verbatim, I would watch you turning blue on the floor and not get out of my chair. And that sounds horrible until you realize I was talking to an honest to gosh Nazi who was saying Nazi stuff. And
yeah,
he was like, so much for the tolerant left. And I was like, you're a Nazi. I don't think you understand how little I give a shit about what happens to you when you're a Nazi.
Heisenberg him. Watch him die. I watched her die. You could, yeah. I mean, it's not nice to talk about as a thought, or it's not an enjoyable thing to feel. But I think there's the thing is, I think there's a difference for me between. I mean, not for you, obviously, based on that, but for me, there's a difference between hating people just for existing. And I feel like the game of like whether or not like people say, oh, things are harmful. Like, oh, if you're hurting people, then it's like, well, what if it hurts me to be around a gay person? And it's like, but it doesn't. And I feel like we're just kind of pretending that it does. Like when people talk about consent with women, it's like can't even hold the door open anymore in case you get accused of assault, and it's like, oh, but do you? We
Yeah.
don't really. That's not really true, is it? And I feel
I
like I want to
found
shake
out
people.
everybody now knows that whole thing that Henry Cavill said during the Me Too movement, where he was like, "Oh well, I'm afraid to hit on people because people might accuse me of rape," and like, it's like, so this might shock you, right? But hitting on someone is not the same thing as rape. But subsequent to that, I found out today Idris Elba had heard what he'd said and was like, "Funny thing, if you don't act like a freak, no one can complain about how you act.
Mm.
So what are you on about?" And when I heard that, I was like, I knew there was a reason I fucking loved Idris Elba and didn't like Henry Cavill particularly.
See, yeah, I like Idris Elba for his role as Knuckles in Sonic the Hedgehog 1, 2, and 3, and also in the show Knuckles. But Idris
Why do I
Elba
fucking
has also got like some bad people have got we've got bad vibes from him on some levels as well in relation to the fact that he keeps dating women who are like gradually getting lighter. It's not an
I
area that I
mean,
can super add to, but it's I'm aware of it, so I don't want to lean too far into Idris.
well,
Same
I
way,
think
Keanu Reeves, big fan for his work as Shadow the Hedgehog. However, also appeared on that Ancient Aliens show.
cannot actually believe that you've managed to fucking squeeze Sonic the Hedgehog in here. I can't believe it. I feel
Well,
like
it
you've
felt
got
like it was
shares in
natural.
it.
It felt like we were moving into it. It felt like it was a natural kind of flow into the conversation there.
I feel like there is not a conversation that you wouldn't bring
Flow.
Sonic into.
Speaking of Sonic the Hedgehog,
Fucking hell. I feel like you're gonna be like giving the speech at my wake or something, and you're gonna be like, and it's very, very sad. Just like that time that Sonic the Hedgehog lost all of the Chaos Emeralds. Like,
we've all had challenges, much like I don't want to speak at your wake. That makes me
well, you're
nervous.
gonna.
I don't want to.
Well, you're gonna.
No,
In many, many years.
I don't know. We might lose touch.
I
I don't think so.
think you're getting
We'll
rid of
probably
me
be on
that easily.
episode. We'll be on episode 3. At that stage, we've just
Welcome to
about
the
got to the
final
AI one.
episode. Welcome to the final episode, episode 7.
Thank you so much for helping us hit 100 subscribers. So
Here's
pleased.
like the thing is about this is one of the, in all seriousness, one of the things that really bugs me about like interacting with these people is they do fill you up with their poison, and it's really, really hard to get away from it now. Like, I don't
Mm-hmm.
like some of the things that I'm saying at the moment, and I recognize that in myself.
Yep.
But that, like, as much as people can be like, do wholesome things and get space from it, it doesn't, in practice, it doesn't work because you just end up being so, like, I get up every single day and I go through my comments, and there will inevitably be horrible things that people have said. And it's not like I'm like, oh my God, I'm so upset on a personal level that, like Jacob 1741615 British flag doesn't like me. But it's just when it's constant,
It's the
and then you
knowledge
check the
that people can
news.
be that way, I think, that stresses me out.
Yeah,
It's like, it's not that you're
like
doing it to me, but it's the fact that you can think that way.
all too often now, I have focused so much on the government is the problem. Like, government itself is the problem. The way that we do government, the way that we have government like enact policy and stuff is the problem. And I think that the parties are the personification of that. And so I kind of, like, when I'm not looking, when I have my eye off things, I'm like, well, people aren't responsible. Like, people are just there and just being benign. And then politicians do bad things. And then I see actual people being like, oh, I think they should shoot the boats, or whatever it is that they're saying. And I'm like, oh my God, you actually are a fucking terrible person. Like, you've let this infect your thinking, and I don't know how to relate to you or whatever.
That's what's it feels like when I got my bike stolen a while back, and I wasn't really that bothered about my bike being stolen because I literally had almost never cycled on it because I stay in the house all day on the internet. But it was like the thought of like someone being in your space, and like it was more the idea of like it happening, that's like someone's like got into your space. And I think like when I got a comment the other day where someone had said that they hope I win the something something award, and it was the name of a thing that was happening in like 2016. It was basically just like people doing gang rape on women.
Yeah.
They were like, "Oh, I hope you win that award," and I was like, "What do you mean?" And like, I think with a lot of these comments, like when people hit or like, I try and I want to believe like with this with Super, like that they're all Lex Luthor monkey rage monkeys typing things, because they're so like the same, like all of them are the same. And then with comments like that, I'm like, I don't think someone's even put that in a program. I think that's just a person who's
Yeah.
just saying that. It's probably a child. It's probably like an 11-year-old boy being a fucking weirdo. But it doesn't bother me because it's just a stupid, it's an idiot on the internet who I don't care about. But it's also like, that's weird. It makes me feel a bit weird. And then I tend to get into a phase of like, it's almost like a sport for a little bit when you have people being like really shitty, and it's like I actually feel a bit amped up. And like obviously we've got like support from everybody around us, and it's like, you know what, I feel like, yeah, fucking hell, let's just have some fun here, fuck it, internet fight club. But then you sort of like hit a wall at a point, and I feel like that's what, like today I made an angry video, and then I think it's like, you know, when you're in the middle of tidying your room and then suddenly you're just like, oh, I feel
Yeah.
like I just like powered down, and I was like, I don't think actually now I've just made myself a little bit sad,
Yeah, I just
and I don't
think
want to be
though
that
as
way.
well, I just think people are so disconnected from the reality of what they're saying. Like genuinely, would some of these people stand in front of you and say, like, well, you get gang raped? Because if you would do that, something's wrong with you. But they wouldn't. It feels like people think that it's a different paradigm of writing this stuff on the internet versus saying it in real life. But it's like I've the video I made yesterday, it was kind of an appeal to people to be like, I want you to think about the reality of what you're saying, because it was about Nigel Farage saying that gay marriage is wrong. And it's like, people think that this is just like a topic you can discuss.
Mm,
You're talking about my actual rights as a human being. And to be
yeah,
like, yeah, no, I just think it's wrong. Okay. I think that you should choke on your own tongue. And then people are like,
can't
so
believe
you're the
you.
tolerant left. You're the
Yeah,
tolerant
yeah,
left, are you? And I'm like, you just said you want me to be a second class citizen, and you want me to sit there and be like, oh, really? Oh my god, it's
yeah.
fascinating. Tell me more. Like, I
What an interesting
literally,
discussion.
it's crazy. And then like, some of the like homophobic stuff that's happened, just like when I'm walking around town recently, it's like people think it's funny. They want to like voice their opinion because they don't think that you'll confront them. I'm not a shrinking violet, and like I've turned around to people recently and been like, do you want me to punch you in the face? Because I'll do that. It was like this young lad who was like, oh, batty boy. And I was like, I
But
will punch
what?
you. I will fucking punch you right now. And he was like, oh, I'm just joking, mate. And I was like, you're not my mate. You've just called me a gay slur. Like, what is actually wrong with you? Are you a sociopath? Fuck off. And it's
That
like, these are the kind of this is the thing that I think is really important to talk about when you are a minoritized person, or even when you're just a person on the internet who talks, when you are a woman, and then with all the intersections of when you're a black woman, when you're a black trans woman, when you're a gay guy, when you're a lesbian, like when you're disabled, like when you think about all these things, you think about those interactions that people have on the daily. You have to consider that people carry that weight around with them.
mm,
And so when you hop into someone's comment section, like if the person that said this watches this is not a slight on you, but today in my comments, someone very, very nicely, I'm sure she thinks, was like, oh, are you okay? You look really tired. And I was like, I am tired. I don't sleep well. You basically just told me that I look shit. What is the point of you writing that even? It's not helpful. You're not my friend. You're just a person that's just said that to me on the internet. That's weird. And it's like, I'm sure
you
she
look
probably
quite
walked
pallid.
away. Thanks. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Are you wasting
Exactly.
away? You look
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if I've mentioned you look really ugly today. Are you all
you
right?
look
But like, it's like,
sickly.
but are you a Victorian child? But it's
You look a
like,
little Victorian ghost.
but it's like when people say this stuff, they think they mean well, but they don't put into context how it comes across and what else you're dealing with. Like, I'm a
Yeah.
political commentator. I'm not fucking Manny MUA. Do you know what I mean? I'm not sat there with like a glam face and all like fucking like
You
slay queen. I am literally just a little guy talking
I'm
about
just a look.
politics.
I might have that might be on me because I've been telling people that you're the Manny MWA of UK politics. That's how I've been positioning it.
I mean, I would be pretty pleased with that, but he was caught up in a racism row in 2019.
God damn it.
Drama get him.
Who next?
Literally
I've
everyone,
only just heard about this.
every YouTuber ever. Like, I feel like the second
God.
someone's like, I really want to be like a YouTube streamer. I'm like, oh right, okay. Are you racist?
Oh no, but
Because I
we're
feel
doing
like
a podcast on YouTube, Davey.
it's different.
Oh, you've roped me in.
I can sit like,
You've made me
it's
complicit.
yeah, that's it. You know, if
I
I'm
don't
going
agree with
down,
anything he says.
kittens are nice.
I don't agree with everything he says. Kittens are pretty good. You're not catching me out like that, Mr. Word Trickery.
I think another thing though as well is like I'm trying really hard to not rise to it, but also I cannot lie about how I feel. Like I am so, like for better or worse, I just tell
Mm,
people what I think on the internet because I can't think of being any other way. And so
hmm
I've been doing a lot of content recently where I'm just like, here's the things I'm fucking sick of that people do, and I'm fucking sick of it. So you shouldn't do this. And it's like
Yeah.
my video content for today was me being like, hey, fascism's happening, guys. It's not like a 5 minute dark period. There's not going to be a free and fair election in the US in a few years. And I think that's one of the things that's really like backending my frustration and making me bitter. I can be angry at people who are dickheads because they're dickheads. But even people that are on my side are winding me up because, like, I'm looking at American leftists and Democrats and progressives who are like, oh my God, we've got 3.5 more years of this. And I'm like, it's forever because
Mm,
it's fascism, guys. Like, that if you really think that Donald Trump's going to be like, oh, I lost an election in a few years, like, I don't know if you've just not paid attention to what's happened in the past, but, you know,
yeah, that is scary. I think I'm like with a lot of people in the US now. I'm essentially just like I want people to get out and be safe.
yeah.
But it is it's frustrating, I think, and it's I think when we get ourselves into this space as like think like when you're driven by things that you think are moral, and I know there's people on the right probably think they're moral as well. But like the whole idea of wanting to like lead with love and be in community with people and look out for people, it's like the intolerance paradox thing.
Yeah.
And you do, I think you become very wary over time because every time you do express negative emotion or you do push back on people, firstly, if you're, as you were saying, if you're a marginalized person in any respect, the odds are that when you try to stand up to people in real life, you can get backlash for it. You can put yourself in danger, and you don't want to run that risk. Like your safety is the most important thing. Then when it comes to doing stuff online, like anytime you do have a negative reaction, you get this response of like, oh, but you're supposed to be the good person because it's all somehow attributed to this like universal absolute that like you have to be happy and loving and supportive. And even if someone's fucking awful, you have to, they're still a person. But then it's always missing. It's always very telling when people do that kind of thing because it's like, okay, so the thing that there are people that you don't see as being people in that case, like talking about peace and like, oh, it's never right to do these things. Like when people are like, yeah, of course we all want peace in Palestine, but that's why these things have to happen. And it's like, well, okay, but for who then? Because you can't be speaking about everyone. And when people talk about like leading, I've been thinking a lot about it because obviously it's a really, really scary time at the minute. And we have to get to a point where we're like, people need to be more resilient. People need to not tolerate so much of this shit. And I think the whole liberal idea of like this facade of pretending that every view is reasonable and we should have debates with these people and we should platform it, I think that's been an absolutely fucking awful idea for a really long time. And we need to be able to actually just, I don't know, get angry back at people. But it's a hard thing to try and navigate because you're going to be in more danger than a lot of the people who can get away with that kind of vitriol. It does take a toll because it's tiring and it's dangerous. But I do think I've got better at handling it the more I felt like held with the people that I do feel like I'm in community with. It gets a lot easier to sort of bolster yourself against that sort of stuff when you do feel like there are good people. And my pal described it the other day as like the abject horror of so much in the world does give you, it makes you appreciate a lot of things a lot more. And I sometimes wonder if people who like ignore that sort of stuff, or people who just who choose not to see what's happening, I wonder if they feel connection as strongly, and like if they feel as connected to other people. I guess they think they do.
I think the problem is that we take people in the chunks that we see them, and I think that
Hmm.
there's every single human being is to an extent complex, and I've given over to going, I can understand why people think the position they have is moral. I can
Hmm.
understand why they think what they do. I like the last few years have been really weird for me. I remember having this epiphany where I was like, if I was like a straight cis working class guy, I'd been working a really miserable job for a while, and I walked down a street and there was a bunch of pride flags. Maybe I would be like, right, okay, so I'm just miserable and you guys get to celebrate. But
Mm.
it's like, as much as I can understand that, it doesn't mean it's right, because the reason those flags are there is because for hundreds of years we were like killed and imprisoned and exiled, and so
Yeah.
it's like, I understand it's still wrong though, and it's like, that's what I'm really trying to do. But this is the thing, there's a threshold of like, I understand why you think that and I don't agree, but we can have civil discourse. And then there's, I'm literally saying I'm a fascist. And to me, I'm like, look, if we're at the point where people are going, I'm unabashedly a fascist, something's gone so fucking wrong. And
Hmm.
it's not for us to be like, love and light and peace. Like, I say
That's
it
your
all the
opinion.
time. I say it all the time, and I cannot tell you how seriously I mean this. I was raised by people and books that taught me the only good fascist is one that isn't still, you know, you know,
Not
not gonna
that.
say it. Yeah,
Did it
not
the wrong
that.
way.
No, they're
Wrong
not a
angle.
pepper grinder. No, like this, like, but this is the thing. It's like we're at that phase now where this kind of shit that we've read about and fretted about for a long time is real, and it's like for a long time we've been preparing for this exact moment, and even no matter
Hmm.
how much you prepare, it's still bad. I remember losing my mum, and she was dying of cancer, and like very depressing. I'm sorry, but like, no matter how much I tried to prepare,
Forgiven.
no matter how much I
None.
tried to
None
prepare for that
taken.
moment,
Yeah.
honestly, like I tried so hard to prepare, but you can't, because it's
Mm.
so fucking horrible what you're seeing and what you're going through. And that's kind of what it's like with all of this, in that no matter how much you try to prepare for the moment where people's masks are going to drop and they're going to say, yeah, I support fascism, I think a dictator's good, like, I like, when we're seeing people commenting casually on social media about shooting people in small boats or any of the other horrible stuff they say, no matter how resilient you think that you are and how much you've prepared, those things are still going to wear on you. And so I think it's about accepting the reality of where we are and going, some days you're just not going to be able to manage it. As long as
Yeah.
you are still engaging in that community stuff that's giving you that support and filling you back up and making you feel okay, that's probably what you need to do about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's part of it, isn't it? It's like I think I was gonna say with like being visibly angry is there's I don't know. We're both quite good at arguing. I know I'm a weasel. I'm a weaselly little liar when it comes to my arguments. I'll say pretty much anything to win an argument, to be honest. I'm just going to say that now. Don't trust any of my videos. I'll argue about literally anything all the time. Um, but like, so it is like tempting to get into these arguments. That's what I want to talk about. That fucking debate.
I knew it was
Uh,
going to come up. Yeah,
that fucking debate where like we all love a debate, man. Like I love arguing. We can all argue and then like dunk on the people who are idiots. Like that's tempting. It's a tempting thing because they're idiots and it feels good. But at the same time, I think like I could spend all day doing like, I don't know, TikTok lives debating, being like, debate me, or like only making videos that reply to hate comments, being like, actually, blah blah blah. But like that's not who I'm bothered about. Like I if I'm making things that are responding to those people, if I'm interacting with those people in any way, it is only to demonstrate to the people that I do care about, that I love, that they are not on their own in a situation. Or if it's funny. If it's funny, I will still do it,
This
obviously.
is the thing with that whole fucking debate and Mehdi Hassan is, whilst I understand that he didn't know who was going to be there, number one, that's disingenuous because it's Jubilee and it takes 35 seconds of looking at their YouTube channel to go, oh wow, they're dodgy and weird and I shouldn't go on there.
Yeah.
But also, the second somebody says, yes, I am a fascist, and people around them go, if you do not flip that table and walk away, you are sitting down debating politics with a fascist. And how does
Yeah.
that help? They only
Yeah.
think like so often these people will be like, oh, Western society is going wrong. And I'm like, yeah, do you know what? We agree there. I think Western
Hmm.
society started going wrong when we stopped making fascists absolutely fucking terrified to admit who they were.
It's disappointing. I can kind of, I don't know. I feel like I try and give grace and stuff on this because, and also I'm sure he doesn't really care if I'm giving him grace or not. He's going to be absolutely devastated to hear that I'm disappointed. I'm sure. Just hit 21,000 followers. but, um, but it is like, it's like there's so much other stuff. But then I also get it. I get it because at the same time, you get more attention when you're angry, and you get more attention when you feed into these things. And if you've been trying to raise eyes onto various issues for a really long time, and you keep getting ignored, trying to do it the loving way or like the proper way, then I can see the temptation to be like, you know what, fuck it. Like if it's going to get people to actually pay attention, I can see that argument. But it's just the amount of damage that it does is just not worth it to me.
No.
But I think I can. Again, it's more. I don't care about that audience. I don't care about those people who are saying that they're fascist. Like I don't. I'm not going to convince them. I want them to go quiet because they're embarrassed. I want them to go quiet and be embarrassed and fuck off. I don't
Yeah.
care beyond that. Like I'm more focused on protecting the people that we do have around us and emboldening them to also embarrass those people and bring that back a little bit. So yeah, I don't know. It is disappointing to see, and I just wish Jubilee would just die, and I wish all
Yeah.
of those people would die.
Yeah. If you're gonna go
But
and sit down and be like, you're an immigrant, get the fuck out, then I don't care what happens to you. It's like I did that video yesterday that was about the working class, and I said, like like for such a long time, everything that's driven me to talk about politics and get through all of the shit that I've gone through is that I really fucking care about working class people. I
mhm,
care so much about working class people. The problem is there's a frightening amount of working class people that don't fucking care about themselves or other working class people. And they'll talk about the working class. Oh, we need to shut the borders because the working class are getting taken advantage of. And it's like, so the people that are coming a working class, the people that are taking advantage of the big bosses who are still going to be able to do that because we're not dealing with the root problem, which is exploitative bosses, or
mm,
like, this whole thing about Nigel Farage and the like gay marriage thing. Like, I'm sorry, in a country where we're struggling financially, in a country where our economy is shrunk, in a country where we're isolated in terms of trade, in a country where we're really struggling to get mortgages, pay mortgages, figure out rent, get healthcare. If you're going to whine about other people being able to get married, then I don't have the time or energy for you.
yeah, it's baffling. It's baffling, man, and it's tiring.
I think the other thing though as well, I'm gonna have to go back to it and pick at that scab again.
Oh,
Those fucking people a few months ago who were like, "Oh, Ash Sarker is totally right, and I'm not just saying this because I love theory more than I care about people. I think that we should be left wing and not woke." And I'm like, those two things don't make sense. And also, I don't know about you, I've chipped in on those people down the line. How many people have you won over to the left, guys? Is it zero? Is that how many people? I saw someone the other day who was going off on me in my comments about like, this is what we have to do. This is the right way for the left to move forward. I saw the
shut the
start of one
fuck
of his
up!
videos. I saw the start of one of his videos, and it was like, oh, if you vote reform and you watch this news channel, then you're a fucking stupid idiot that just likes to lap up propaganda, blah blah blah. And I was like, So a few months ago, you were saying we have to try and like join hands with these people and work with them and understand them and be all nice to them. And now you're doing videos like that. Like, so you just
If,
didn't mean what you said.
to be fair, maybe growth.
Maybe growth. But at the same time, it's like, are we going to talk about the fact that you were wrong then?
That's
Because
true.
this
Is
is the
this
thing
because
that really
everyone keeps
bugs me.
making you apologize for being a liberal?
That might have something to do with it.
Are you
Listen,
resentment?
I was never a full liberal. I was a
In my
left-leaning
head, you
liberal.
were full liberal because I never knew you. In my head, you were like Miliband. You had a little.
No,
In my head, you had like a little rolled up brown, like blue shirt up to the elbow.
no, no. I was
Ah,
never really liberal. I just used to extol a lot of the like, look, we're going to have to vote for Labour because the other people are worse. And then when I started to realize that Labour was shit, because people were telling me and I was listening to them, I very quickly changed my mind. But it's like, it's the thing that bothers me because it's like I said to you, people have a right to be annoyed about the fact that I said more liberal things. But there comes a point where I'm like, right, but I've been this way for longer than I was liberal on the internet at this point. So are you just whinging at me for what? Like, it's up to you guys. You can keep whinging at me about it. It's not going to change the fact that I was, nor is it going to change me from who I am. Like, I've paid my penance, and if it's still not good enough for you, then fair enough. But just don't waste my time.
that is
Oh, I'm scared. What are you doing? If this is that fucking intolerance thing again, I'm walking out.
okay. Well, hang on then.
Oh God, it is, isn't it? It is. Okay,
Well,
bye.
wait, wait. It's not on the stage.
No, it's not. I'm just looking at a black
I
screen.
tried.
Sorry
I
for
tried.
being a liberal.
I tried to animate it, but
You're such a little shit. You're the reason for my rage.
I don't know why I only animated away. Sorry for
it
being
was
a liberal.
it was creeping away. Sorry for being a liberal.
Sorry, it's not much I can do. Ice cream as it was leaving. I don't know. I thought maybe that would help. Then it's been solved. We can put that as your background maybe next time.
Fantastic. Perfect. Yeah.
Put your guest name as former liberal. I think,
I
but
swear to
I was a
God.
liberal as well. It just wasn't as visible on the internet.
That was the thing. Like it for the thing that bothers me is, and this kind of just goes as a general PSA. This is nothing to do with what we've been talking about, but there are a lot of people who started off in that circle of liberalism and espousing liberalism, and then that was their payday. They were getting sponsorships and they were getting, like opportunities to go on TV and being noticed and things like that because they were saying liberal things. So even if they noticed that what they were saying was wrong, they probably wouldn't roll it back because it was literally making the money. And this is why I get annoyed
Mm,
with political commentary. The second you involve a financial incentive, you're being paid to say the same things. What are
yeah.
you supposed to do if you're like, oh shit, I am being misled by this party? Because the moment you go, hey, I'm being misled by this party, people that are funding you because you're saying party good, they're going to withdraw their funding. That's literally
Mm,
what happened to me. And I was like, good. I don't want your money because I'm not going to fucking lie to you. If you want me to bullshit you and say vote for these people, they're really great, then I'm not going to do it because that makes you
mm,
look like a fool and I'm lying.
yeah. And that's why we'll never take any money from. Never take any money from anyone. Will we?
I mean, I take money from my boss to do my very difficult job that's driving me crazy. I need that to live though.
But will we take money like what if we get sponsored?
Hey,
Episode
does anyone
7, episode 6,
anyone want to
2050.
sponsor us? Depends on like I would be like it depends on what it is because in all
Raid Shadow
honesty,
Legends. They're not coming for us.
not yet, but soon. It depends on what it
Sonic
is.
the
Like
Hedgehog.
if it was because this is the thing as well. If someone wanted me to do a sponsorship for something I actually really liked,
Mm.
I'd be like, sure. But it wouldn't be for a financial incentive necessarily. If that came into it, then
Well,
whatever.
that's the
But like,
sponsorship. That's the whole point. We can't do it for no money.
I would do it for things that I like because I already like it. But if someone came along and was like, would you tell people that this like potato peel is really good? I'd be like, is it?
If
That
you
like
have you turned down a potato peeler sponsorship without telling me, I'd have been all over that. A potato peeler? I'd have been spiralizing. I could have done that.
Oh, don't
Fucking
fucking
hell. Sounds
please
more like my
don't.
mum's YouTube.
I was gonna say I can feel my mother's ghost being like spiralizers. What about
Spiralize.
spiralizers? She when she passed away,
Courgette.
she'd given me a bag of like random things from the
Mm.
kitchen that she was just like, here's some accessories that you might want. She gave me 2 garlic presses, one of which exploded in my old flat. The other one I'm still using sometimes, but I prefer to cook garlic up because it's better. And the other thing, not just one spiralizer, but fucking 2. I was like, Mum, how much courgette can you eat? You absolute freak of nature.
It's because you get one bad one. You get a bad spiralizer the first time, and then you learn and you get a better spiralizer, and then you lose all interest in courgette.
They were the same spiralizer. That's the weird thing. I was like, so you just fully going in and just like palming spiralizers.
It's so much, and you get so little out of it. But hang on. Walk all the way back.
Yeah, blah, blah,
I
blah,
was
blah,
coming
blah,
back.
blah.
I was heading to a point
Yep.
about
Sponsorship
before I
and
got
money,
distracted by the sponsorship thing. That was before that.
liberalism.
Oh, yeah, with the whole liberal thing. So I spoke at a festival, mystery festival, and yeah, I think it was cool. It was fun because it was like, ooh, proper person doing proper things in the politics thing, and everybody's schmoozing, and journalists are here, and there were loads of big names of people, and I was like, I don't know who that is, because I'm so distant from like the mainstream news stuff now. But it felt like I've never done anything like that, not as like my day self, not as like my birth self, my government name,
You've only done
my
it as
birth
your
name.
Nightwalker
I've
self.
only done it as my skinwalker self, and I didn't. So I wasn't like I've never been to one of those things and not had to be like a proper. Oh, I'm here to schmooze and meet people in business, and going in like as Sneakerate and not having. I didn't have really any obligations. I just had to come along, do the panel. I was entirely unmasked, being myself, and it was fun. But as soon as I left, I felt like I'm so grateful to not have to play that thing in
Yeah.
that world and to be able to do. I'd rather do things slowly and purposefully and with people that I really feel like match up to everything than to ever again like it, obviously day job capitalism awful, but outside of that, I don't want to spend time building things with people who I don't trust. I don't want to spend time doing deals like with the devil on like getting some kind of playing the game approach. I know some people do, but when I was leaving that thing, I was literally like, I'm so pleased that we're doing our little podcast, and I'm so pleased to be doing my little TikTok and to have our little Discord and just feel warm and like accepted in those spaces. And I think
Yeah.
once you have that feeling about things, it becomes far harder to just let it slide when people want to get rid of that and people want to create spaces that aren't for everyone.
I think as well, it's not the whole kit and caboodle. I think it's just you realize that schmoozing isn't for you if you want to build something real, because schmoozing by its very nature is not real. But as well, I did read a thing yesterday that was like neurodiverse people are absolutely fucking shit at networking, and it's true.
I used to be
Like
good. I used to be.
I've never been able to do it even before I knew what neurodiversity was. I remember years ago I ran an event at it was a hospital in Birmingham. I went down and I sponsored an event for the Advanced Life Support course, and like it's like a 2-day course, and people come out, blah, blah, blah. And I'd ordered a bunch of Domino's pizzas. And as the doctors were coming out, I was trying to get them to sign up to my old agency, and this like just so many of these doctors kept being like, "Well, what's in it for me?" And I was like, locum work if you want locum work, some like money." And they were like, "Oh, so do I not like get anything?" And I was like, "Look, locum work if you want locum work." And when I told my boss, she was like, "You were supposed to be like loads of money." Like, and I mentioned the like
The
you get a free iPad
benefits.
if you work as many hours. Yeah, but I was just like, it's I'm
Jo-
not selling this to you. I'm literally just like, if you
job.
want to sign up for locum work, then do some locum work. It was,
If you want
and
to sign up for it, then do it.
yeah, the funniest thing was, the
Got
most
him.
successful I ever had was at my old local hospital, and I got like 20 people to sign up, and that's because we had the best pens out of all of the agencies. And so doctors kept coming up and being like, oh, are you from that agency? And I'd be like, yeah. They'd be like, I'll
The
sign up
pen
if you give me a
people.
pen. I'd be like, here you go. And they just kept doing it. And I'd be like, you're obviously not interested in registering, but enjoy your pen.
Oh my god. I was once so anxious about doing that on the street that I just filled in a whole list of names and just made them up. When
Greg Personington.
I was doing an internship and I wasn't getting paid for it.
Nice.
And they were like, "You need to go out and get people to sign up for this event later." And I was like, "But do they have to pay for it?" And they're like, "Yeah, but they'll have to pay for it using the tablet." But we only had one tablet, and I was like, "So I have to go to people on the street and ask them to put their payment details into my tablet to attend an event that they don't even know about yet." And they were like, "Yeah." They're like, "What's the problem?" And I was like, and I stood on the street for about, and I was with someone else. I was with another intern, and I convinced her that this was an okay thing to do. And I made up all the emails.
Yeah.
I just filled in the whole thing, made up email addresses, made up names, and none of those email addresses worked, obviously. And I then left.
Nice. I did
It's
do
hard.
some. I know, I understand. I did some like leafleting for. It was called Oceana, the club at the top of Leeds. I don't remember what it's called now, like Sparks or whatever the fuck it is. But I was doing the like handing out leaflets, and people kept asking me like, "Oh, is it good?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, it's all right." And then another person came over to join me, and they heard me doing that, and they were like, "You're supposed to be like, yeah, it's amazing, it's the best club in Leeds." And I was like, "It's not." And they were like, "Right, right,
But
but
it isn't factually.
you can't tell them that." I'd be like, "Yeah, but mission's better." And they'd like, "Are you okay?" And it turns out that that's just my brain.
I'm just trying to. I'm giving them accurate information. I apologize, but
Honestly.
yeah, it's okay. But that's it. It's like going through these things. I'm quite good at. I got quite good at schmoozing at one point, and now it's all fallen apart. Now I can't do it at all. Now I just look at people. I don't necessarily process the words they've said to me for a while. So it's really a, and then I leave,
Yeah.
um, or a,
I'm rewatching Sex and the City at the minute, and it's really funny whenever I watch them going to like, the like schmoozy parties. And I honestly can't think of anything worse than someone coming up to me and being like, "Oh, have you tried the malaria? It's absolutely wrong." Because I just feel like, no, it doesn't look very nice. And
no,
I
it doesn't
just
look very
know that
nice, and I
people
don't
would be
like
like,
you.
yeah, I just know that people would be like, right, okay. Like I can do the witty banter thing. I'm not an alien, but it's just it feels like flicking a switch. Because and this does go back into what we've been talking about, because it's like
You promise.
it costs effort to like mask and like put on the like everything's fine and I'm doing okay and blah blah blah. It
Mm,
costs energy that I just don't have at the minute. So if I go into my comments and someone's like, "I think people like you are the reason politics is bad," I'll be like, "Okay, I think that you look like something that should be cauterized. So I don't really care what you think." You know,
called that guy
it's
an AI generated boiled egg with a face on it the other day.
honestly, I've
It
had
did
some.
look like that though.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? I don't want to sound horrible, but I'm so tired of middle-aged women with short blonde hair cut in like a really severe style with
Yeah,
really
sorry,
awful
Christina.
fake teeth. Like just
Christina's done
really
it.
fake teeth. It does my head in. I'm just like, just stop.
Christina, and then I mean, it's brave in this day and age to post that kind of comment when you do look like that. You look like an AI generated boiled egg, and to have actually uploaded an image when it is so easy now to have a fake account, it feels almost like it's on purpose. I thought it was a
Yeah.
case of mistaken identity from someone the other day who commented a hate comment because when I looked up the person, because it was like their full name and face, and obviously I looked them up because I'm insane. Um, and I was like, would you really try that? Like, is that gonna? Are you not walking into the lion's den covered in meat?
Did I tell
What?
you about what happened at the start of this year with that guy that commented from his
I
business
mean,
account?
gosh, his business account. Oh
So
no, I
I
remember.
Yeah, I responded to him being like I did a video responding to his comment being like, "Well, you're a fucking prick, aren't you, guy who like and here's your business account." And I got this DM from like an obviously just created account with no followers, nothing, that was like, "Oh, I'm that person's girlfriend and he's been hacked and it's not really him and he's really nice." And I was like, "Hmm,
Old girlfriend.
And so you sure it's not just you sure this is not just buyer's remorse?"
I knew that person in school, and actually they're a really good person.
Oh my God, what a
So you
freak.
shouldn't be so before you say anything so hurtful.
Just so you're
You
aware, they're
should
like the nicest
are
person
actually really
ever.
sexy and
Yeah,
mysterious,
I was like
and that's
sexually aroused by how nice he is. Writing
I had
fan fiction about yourself.
I always admired them, but people are insane on the internet. We need to get off the internet more, but people are insane offline as well, which is what's more stressful.
Indeed.
And for having people who you love and want to look after and protect on the internet and in real life makes you sometimes have to be a little bit of a hater.
Yeah.
I'm a hater for some
There's
things.
nothing wrong with being an angry person in a world where fascism is being normalized. That's what I'm going to say.
Lock me up. Don't lock me up.
Not yet.
Don't lock me up. I didn't say anything in support. I mentioned. Fuck. Did mention it earlier.
And I mean, to be fair, if we've not gotten in trouble for last week when we did suggest that whole thing about Keir Starmer, I'm pretty sure we're off scot-free with this one.
We'll just wait till the fame gets us. What about when we're at 200 views then?
Well, the heady heights of 200 whole views.
At what stage do you think the
150 of which will be me watching these podcasts over again as I work.
At what stage do you think you end up on Interpol?
I already know
At
that
least 251 views.
I already know that I am on some kind of list because of that fucking email I got back from Hillary Benn, my MP. There's no way he's not reported me to the local police or something. If you're just going to abuse me, oh yeah, sorry, you're the real victim here, straight white politician guy. It's
Come on,
definitely not
Tony
the trans
Benn.
people and the people on small boats, you fucking freak.
Tony Benn. You're more like Tony Bint.
It's Hillary Benn. Tony Benn is his very good socialist father who's dead now.
I remember. I was just thinking, I was like, is it Hillary or Tony? I got mixed up. Hillary Benn, your MP.
Yes.
Did a politics degree.
Until September when I move, and then it's going to be Rachel Reeves, and I can't fucking wait to start emailing her.
Oh, she's going to get it. Absolutely getting that smash.
You might not know me, but you're going to.
Standing at the MP at the office.
Yeah.
Ready to be not disruptive. Ready to not be disruptive or a problem.
Rachel, you're a loser.
Oh, yeah, right.
Why do you keep grinding pepper on your microphone?
No, I'm doing the snapping the plant's neck.
The plant, right?
We did it last week. That's why I've been doing it this whole time. I've been doing it as a reference.
You want me to remember what happened a week ago?
It's a throwback to our pop. It wasn't a week ago.
They don't need to know that.
The video's going up.
They'll just
they're
fans. They're fans. They'll be like, perfect. These guys are smart and on the ball.
It feels like no time's even passed. They'll know it won't be every week because it's been more than a week.
It'll be like what MAGA does with Trump. You know, like he stands at a microphone and goes, like, I remember when I once kicked a cat. And they're like, oh, I remember that. It was great. It'd be like that.
I don't think that our lovely audience would ever be like that. I think you're discerning and smart and beautiful and strong. Don't listen to Davey. I heard he's harassed his MP, Tony Benn.
Get out of my life.
Don't listen to him. He's just the same as the right. Okay.
Thank you for joining us here. But This Is the Thing, the podcast run by two people that have absolutely no clue how to work technology and yet somehow are desperate enough to cry on the internet about things being shit that we managed to make it work. If you do want to check us out on socials, we are at But This Is the Thing pod on TikTok. You can also check us out. I'm at Davy Moo, she's at Sneaker, and we are thoroughly fed up of how miserable things are. See you next time.
Wait.
Yeah. I feel like we've
End.